locked, all right.
응? 것들이 있네. 여기 있는 건 다 먹었겠지? 저쪽부터 건너가는데 갈만한 데가 없어. 일단 집에 들어가야 되나 봐. 다 돌아다녔나?
I cannot enter.
혁명에 참여하세요. 그 말. 집에 들어가야지 이제. 일단 흔적을 찾아가래. 여기 있고.
According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail.
뭐가? 아이, 채운 다음에 피를 먹었어야지. 힌트를 갖다 갈까? 안 들어와지는데? 이쪽이 아닌가요? 인가요? 아, 진짜 2층인가 봐. 저쪽으로 왔고. 일단 들어가자. 경험치를 사용하거나 작업대에서 아이템을 제작할 수 있습니다. 오케이. 신체도 한번 둘러보고. 제작대야? 제작대인가 봐. 밑에는 막혀있고. 안정적인 집이네. 이거 보자. 뭐 있는지. 작업대에서 다음을 제작할 수 있습니다. 아픈 시민을 치료할 수 있는 치료제, 자신에게 힘을 더해줄 세럼, 무기를 향상시키고 커스터마이즈 할 수 있는 무기 업그레이드. 무기는 없고요. 아무것도 없어. 판매 가치 보통 이 아이템은 구성 요소로 분해할 수 있다. 재활용하면 분해한다는 얘기네. 유리병 있어야 되고 활성 타르타임 빈혈 알코올이 담긴 병인데 유리병이랑 생겼네. 일단 재료가 없어가지고 만들 게 없고. 제켈인가 이게? 공격형 이로 만든 창 던지기 체력 증가 신체 능력 지구력 보통 지구력 아닌가? 가하는 피해량 증가 이거는 체력 채우기 300 300이네. 혈액량 증가 혈액량 증가 체력을 채우는 게 낫죠. 생명 회복 증가 생명 회복? 혈액 한 번 돌리면 끝인데 어떻게 하지? 이거 와 이것도 단계별로 있구나. 연소량 일단은 이것밖에 아니 체력 채우고 다음날 밤이 됐어? 어허
That's strange. The trail is very erratic, as if the killer was drunk or hesitant.
찢어지는 참 그들이 내 피부를 조롱할 때 못 들은 척하기 못 들은 척하는 내가 싫다. 이것도 캐릭터 아이템이었어? 센트용 힌트를 얻었다면 힌트를 통해 시민이나 시민과 관련된 시민의 비밀을 알 수 있습니다. 인간의 피가 필요합니다. 힌트를 하자면 경험치가 증가합니다. 사브리나 캐번디시 체력 상태 불명 되게 많네? 어디냐 이거? 이쪽에 있는데 어떻게 들어가야 되나?
There's gotta be something can be done to get out.
At last, a little life. Whoever he may be, the killer recently entered this bar. Maybe some of the locals saw him.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given
Are they
me a
stupid or
laugh.
something?
그냥 올라가도 되는 거야?
This is no. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area,
They do not pursue me.
but they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require.
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
뭐 하는 거야?
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Say it, the
와,
vampire.
햇빛 십자가가 저렇게 발동해?
Present yourself.
I need a word. Anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you. And who might you be?
홍심이야? 아,
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them, biting them.
The calling card of a vampire, like you.
You seem the expert. How would that be?
I have my secrets, as you have yours.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an
Edgar
attempt to
Swansea?
understand precisely what is going on.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished,
저기하고
reckless.
빨리
It must be
처치한다.
brought to ground, and quickly.
And What exactly is this brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
바로 왔어. 이거 좀 어떻게 안 돼? 일단은 아직 될 수가 없고
It's locked, all right. If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
역시 이쪽의 대화를.
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic,
살인
now all
사건.
these terrible murders.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu.
스페인
Yeah.
독감.
Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
살인
The
사건이
murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog. What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight. And I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk as usual.
만취 상태.
My God, his eyes, his face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin, his hands.
유리지 않고.
Every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well, Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
Look, I told you everything.
다 말했대.
It's locked.
볼 건 없나?
I think I'm losing my mind.
Oh, God, sir. You look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
발견한 힌트를 통해 시민들에게서 강제로 전구를 얻었습니다. 파란색 선택지.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Who is he?
William? Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah, like many drunks, he's all bark and no
죽긴
bite.
하지만 물지는
Barely stand
않습니다.
up most of the time.
써있을 힘도 없고.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's
네,
up by the North
북쪽 보도.
Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What do you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
여기는
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
라이센이라.
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient
모든
answer
범죄를
for every
덮어씌울
crime
수 있는
that
편리한
happens in decades.
놈이다.
You murdered someone. Blame the sewer dog, eh?
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
살인범 추적, 수조사. 건강. 조금 떨어졌는데?
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city.
여기가 뱀 가운데? 아, 이거야? 보트? 아닌가? 아, 여기 있다.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. What's this? Some sort of note.
(7월 30일) 발신인 맥컬럼. 모두 순찰대. 목적 부두지역 다수 사망. 더러운 거머리와 연관이 있는 것 같다. 그 괴물을 찾아라. 신속하게 정화하길 바란다. 경고. 최근 보고에 따르면 이번 표현은 매우 폭력적이라고 한다. 각별히 주의하도록. 오늘 인의 입에서는 관하지만 해당 사건 수색에 신청은 보내지 마라. 내가 알고 있는 게 맞다면 매일 밤 미친놈이 살인을 저지르고 있다. 집 지하 하수구나 창과 같이 버려진 곳을 먼저 수색하라. 거머리를 파괴하라. 형제들이야. 아하.
These men, they're blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
저쪽 보트. 쭉 따라가기. 여기 들어갔네?
Over there!
비해 공격 뭘로 하는 거였어? 원거리 무기, 총이다. 원거리 무기를 장착한 뒤 탭을 눌러 이번 피해와 기절피를 동시에 입히세요.
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line.
총알을 낭비해야 되나? 총알을 그냥 쏘는 거야? 나이스. 조준은 안 되고? 이런 실수를 하다니. 총알을 날려버렸네. 카드 L3로?
루님 웰컴 어서와요. 반갑습니다.
특정 피해 유형이 더 저항력이 높습니다. 저항에는 4가지 유형이 있습니다. 근접, 원거리, 그림자. 주황색은 중간 저항력을, 빨간색은 높은 저항력을 나타냅니다. 충이 높고 여기가 높다 뭐. 뭐가 안 나오는 거야? 이걸 재자. 오늘 재자. 미쳐. 볼 거야? 여기로 가야 되네. 템 나왔나? 샷건? 당겼고.
It's locked, all right.
있다. 빨방사기인데?
It's locked.
이쪽으로 가야겠다.
It's locked, all right.
피 한 방이다. 정말 8번 리로드는 되나? 총알이 없구나. 여기 이제 없고 밖으로 나가면 돼. 여기는 안 되고 회피는 되고. 스태미나. 이런 거 안 부서지고. 잠깐만. 몇 명이야 여기? 몇 명이야?
Stay away!
소리가 나지 않아?
Best turn around if I were you. I said stay away, sir. Over there!
아이 먹을걸. 이가 모질라다. 몇 명이야? 스태미너가 없구나. 말도 안 돼. 그냥 엄마를 죽여야겠다. 어디부터야? 여기가 맞잖아. 뭘로 때리는 거야? X 버튼이구나. 야, 가드를 풀어야 이게 저기구나. 스태미너. 뭐 버렸는데요? 스태미나가 없네. 이를 내놔. 와. 게이지 너무 많이 난다. 스태미나. 힘들구만요. 왜 또 손으로 가르쳐? 물 먹고 싶어? 잠깐 줄게. 자, 들어봐. 고개 들어봐. 자, 물 먹고 있어? 스태미너가 금방 달아.
Ain't safe here for a gentleman. Over there!
똥손에부터 처리를 해야 돼.
We won't see any of these bastards back here again. Over there! There's one of them vermin!
총 또 있네 저기.
Watch it! It's a killer!
이 레나.
That's what you do with leeches.
피 아파. 아. 안돼. 피 빨고. 새로운 거네. 거머리와의 싸움에서 우리가 가장 좋은 점은 놈들이 낮에 외출할 수 없다는 점. 무력할 때 사냥하자 하는 논리. 구요. 은신처 근처에 있다고? 그럼 총알로 놔두자. 아닌가? 아니야. 2층에도 올라가 보고. 야, 뚫린 대로 그냥 올라오면 되잖아, 편하게. 이렇게. 이쪽으로 건너갈 수 있겠는데? 이쪽이 그 반대쪽이구나. 오. 어? 루파라.
커맨더로드님 웰컴 어서와요 반갑습니다.
야, 내 템은. 아까 그 녀석이었나? 자, 이제 어디로 갈까? 쥐들 많네.
It's locked.
뭐야, 반대쪽에서 열 수 있나 그럼? 것 같은 건가? 반대쪽으로 열 수 있는 데가 까? 이쪽에 열 수 있는 데가 없잖아. 320이니까 집에 들렸다 갈까? 은신자가 또 있어? 은신자가 또 있을 줄이. 일단 스킬 올리고 하룻밤이 지난단 말이야. 상관없는 건가? 방어가 나왔다? 대상의 혈관을 막아 무방비 상태로 만든다. 해랑 증가 이것도 필요하긴 해. 아니다. 이동물기는 빠른 회복이구나. 가하는 피해량. 피해량을 늘릴까? 그 다음에 요거 2개 올리고 다음날에 간다고 뭐 저기가 되진 않겠지 설마? 변화가 있거나 어디보자. 업그레이드? 무기 업그레이드. 필요한 재를 모아 무기를 3레벨로 업그레이드 할 수 있다. 가하는 피해량이 커지며 커스터마이즈 슬롯도 이용할 수 있다. 넓은 칼. 마체테의 레벨 올리는구나. 피해량 10% 좀. 아 이거 또는 2개 중에 하나네. 10% 감소. 피해량 증가가 났지. 뭐야 이거 또는 이거네. 2개 다 할 수는 없고. 보조 무기도 업그레이드 돼? 총알 없을 거 아니야.
달고야님 웰컴 어서와요. 반갑습니다.
이것도 올릴 수 있어? 그러네. 판매가치 높음. 분해할 수 있다? 분해해버려. 퀸인이라는 적이 없네. 아이, 방아쇠 부품이 없네. 만들 수 있는 게 없어. 애들도 살아나 있구나. 자고 있느라면 리셋되는구나. 아이, 나 재료 좀 많이 주지. 여기 가자 이제. 안정적?
I cannot enter. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
난막대기? 무기야. 아, 난박대기 있으면. 아, 이건 양손이구나. 장비는? 아, 이따 장비하면 되는구나. 패링. 핀이 있으니까 패링으로 가자.
It's locked, all right.
Why not betray your trust?
This place reeks of bloodshed.
Overcome this. We've done it before.
No. I had a drink outside tonight already and it did not quench my thirst. I must have more.
Oh dear God, not again. William, please stop.
Just a sip, I promise. You are my dearest friend. You're my last and dearest friend.
William,
This creature
where
is
am I?
bedeviled.
I can't feel
I
it.
must put it down.
아이고. 테미너가 너무 딸리는 거 아니야? 세 번 때리고 테미너가 모질라. 두 번만 때려야 돼. 담배. 아. (65피) 업그레이드를 이것도 15 맞출 때가 더 빠르긴 하네.
Let me go. It's not too late.
I cannot enter.
The Lord is my shepherd. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, Listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you?
분명?
What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
오.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows.
와,
I've come to
이배는
offer
뭐야?
help. Just give me a moment to
이
secure my
시대에?
boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
뭐야, 같이 가지 그냥. 되게 좋아 보이는데. 전기관식이라. 아,
This poor creature can't be my maker.
혈액 샘플.
Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
기다리고 있나? 신선하기구나. 그냥 막혀있는데 어떻게 올라갔대? 가면 되나 본데? 잠깐. 예스. 갑시다. 새벽에 우린 노를 젓는다. 트로피. 와, 안 저어도 저걸로 굴려서 갈 수 있네. 와, 이게 좋은데.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back. But I will tell you, she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid that part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion
피해
between the
다녔.
rest of London and the
동네를
end.
피해 다녔어.
The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea.
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost,
Ah,
I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
와.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute
신화를 반박하는가?
when myth walks among us. The Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to
뭐야,
learn.
그건 처음부터 알고 있었단 얘기잖아.
You are right.
Well,
그러면서 그냥 미끼로
join my
사용한 거네.
staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician, I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight
괜찮네.
hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
자, 시작이죠. 하스피털. 함브로커 하스피털.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
엘렉트릭 컬롱보드님 웰컴 어서와요. 반갑습니다.
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have,
Pembroke.
but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship is in sync. If you have any questions, just ask her.
아,
Duly
짱.
noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea,
Welcome
immediately.
aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
와, 옷 봐봐. 말끔해졌는데. 들어가기. 지역 상태 건강.
It's locked.
그거 사용 안 돼?
It's my turn.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
그걸 어떻게 해야 돼?
I cannot enter.
not like this. No! Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
R2?
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
영혼체로서 걸렸어?
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
해당 지역은
Taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
메뉴 일단 먹을 것 좀 다 부셔? 이것도 부셔져?
It's locked, all right.
얘는 다 갔다 왔고. 사람 심각하네. 뼈 상태 건강. 빨간색이야. 레벨 높은데? 레벨이 높아.
It's locked.
강요사들이 필요합니다. 현지 보자. 시체 안치소 같은 구나.
It's locked, all right.
나도.
I cannot enter.
야씨.
My plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation.
It's locked, all right.
Arranged to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife.
It's locked.
나도 저기. 들어가면 되나? 살짝 점프하면 되겠구만. 이렇게. 격리구역 병원.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
일명 스칼? 안 보이나 보자. 아이고야. 앤디요? 엠미 어디 갔어? 일로 와봐. 죽음은 사악한 것이 아니다. 진정한 벌은 죽음의 달콤한 입맞춤을 영원히 알지 못하는 것이다. 어디부터야? 이거는 어디지?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this mall.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
밀턴 옥수?
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
힌트 필요하다.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I
What?
trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is
인간성을
we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
와. 이건 판매야? 얼마 있는데? 아이고 사버렸네. 미쳤나봐. 아 이걸 샀어야 된다. 나 값진 결혼 반지래.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
어허, 와, 내가 파란 걸 다시. 분석이 필요하다. 야, 샷건탄은 6발 있는 거야?
More bodies will
It's
arrive
locked,
and
all
then
right.
sadly depart. I'm managing a train tunnel.
레벨이 높았지.
It's locked.
여기가 병원인데. 연이 색깔이래. 아. 아! 힘든데요? 여기 있다. 응? 아, 이게 양손이라서. 이걸 빼야 총이 꺼내기.
루님 웰컴 어서와요. 반갑습니다.
먹을 건 안 주나 봐. 아! 아! 야이씨. 돌아간다. 어휴. 죽었고요. 먹을 건 안 주고요. 이렇게 온 거 아니었어? 뭐야? 올라갈 수 있지 않아? 두 마리, 두 명이야?
It's locked, all right.
잠겨 있고.
It's locked.
아, 11레벨. 멀쩡한 데도 있네. 지금 일단 병원에 가자. 응?
I cannot enter.
알았어요, 알았어. 잠깐 기다려봐요. 알았어요, 갑니다.
It's locked, all right.
여기가 거기구만.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
와 6천이래.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
유리병.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Good.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
누구십니까? 아,
Good evening,
아까
nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm
불안하가
Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan.
이
Welcome
아줌마구나.
to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of
커맨더
research.
로드님 웰컴 어서 와요. 반갑습니다.
It is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's
이쪽
sleep.
안 보고 얘기하지. 아, 내가 이렇게 보야 되는구나. 아,
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
왜 만들어놓은 거야?
Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know.
누구세요?
I met him in New York.
Good evening, sir.
If only there were
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster.
재앙.
It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in.
Hmm.
I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
정원을 조사해보는 중. 이미 갔다 온 거 아니었어?
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect
와.
them.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
와, 이런 거 파네. 돈이 없어요. 다음에 다시 오지. 제가 총, 무기, 재료 이런 거 파는가 본데.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
스킬을 올려볼까? 이들이 어디요? 일로와, 일로와. 아, 상인이 이렇게 있구나. 어디 갔다 왔어? 쭉 가는 게 맞지. 아까 갔던 데 아니요? 아, 지갑 이미 잡았으니까 맞지? 여기 들어갈게.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all.
Good. Please, take this money anyway, to remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as
핀
broad-minded
호킨즈
as you,
페인트
Dr.
가능.
Reed.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm fine, Doc. Physically, at least. But I would give everything to be in a better place right now.
Goodbye, Milton.
이제 내 방 가자.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
2층이 내 방이란 말이지.
My sweet girl reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you,
아,
Nurse.
들어오셨구나.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
You always knew the word.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd.
Ackroyd?
They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you
I'll
down.
see you later. 뭐야, 도로시야?
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been
Pippa?
introduced
아니네.
yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
뭐 하는 거야?
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
집할 땐 입을 가리 있어요. 이쪽은 다녀도 되네? 누구야?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal.
인간?
You're nothing but dust blown
Elma?
by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense The last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist
정신질환?
named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal.
벤트 영화는?
You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
The pain.
So many deaths.
Here again.
And what of my own life?
누구야? 아까 걔야? 아닌데?
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
A giant morgue disguised.
I cannot enter.
또 누구야?
Good evening, Mr.
아,
How do you feel?
핸드폰이구나.
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
So many deaths.
밀턴한테 다시 가보자.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other, and that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
나중에 다시 또 눌렀다.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Goodbye, Milton.
이제 2층 가서 자. 양쪽으로 돼 있네.
It's locked.
원주 박사. 내 집이야? Dr. Reed.
I cannot enter. It's locked.
야. 배티 박사, 왕캐, 9월 16일, 태어날 미정. 피부 아래에서 불이 아직도 타는 것 같다고 한다. 봐라, 감면 부기 흔적 없다. 흉터는 깨끗하다. 끊임없이 자신 탓을 돌린다. 생존자의 죄책감 문제일까? 전우와 함께 죽지 못한 자신에 대한 벌로서 환상통이 나타난 걸까? 세인트 가능하대.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
풀린 게 이거야?
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
러선2020님 웰컴 어서와요. 반갑습니다.
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
획득 실패.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas?
안 되나 이제?
What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
나 없애면 안 되지. 일단 어디 보자. 한 명 죽었어. 데려왔어야 되는데 병원에. 내 방 가자. 왼쪽이라고 했나? 간 김에 3층도 가보자. 막혔고. 한번 들어가 볼까?
It's locked, all right.
Not now.
쳇. 내방 가자 이제. 패치, 트리그램, 아크로이드. 집에 왔어.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes.
오, 되게 넓다.
Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
연기사. 아우 너무 많다. 지가. 유리병 열나 많이 먹었다.
The flower's dying. It needs
약
water.
없대. 작업대에서 윌리엄 비숍 혈액 분석. 작업대.
러선2020님 웰컴 어서와요. 반갑습니다.
혈액샘 분석. 아, 여기서 분석하는 거구나. 인근은 가치 높음. 이건 파는 게 판매 가치가 높다고 돼 있네. 그냥 재활용하자, 재활용. 맞출 데가 없네. 그럼 총은 랩톱. 다 저기가 필요하네. 퀴닌. 아포와 염소, 산난, 두릅융액. 우두먹이를 강화할까? 아... 이건 된다. 피해량 혈액흡수? 이걸로 해놓으면 될 것 같아. 다른 거는 쓸 일이 아직까지는.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
자, 올리자. 스킬 뭘로 올릴까요? 응고. 이게 300. 여기까지 하면 600인가? 600 저거 하면 600이 남는단 말이야. 다 300씩이야. 일단 하나 올리고 이것도 하나 올리고 딱 맞다. 우와, 어느 정도 된 것 같아. 전술형이 풀렸다. 초자연적으로 이동한 뒤 착륙하면서 피해를 입힙니다. 경로 강렬한 공격을 가합니다. 살아나 범인의 적을 잡고 막대한 피해를 입힙니다. 힘을 집중해 대뇌피가 끌어올라 폭발하게 됩니다. 모든 것에 피해를 준다. 과학도 있네. 휴대 탄약통하고 그 늘리는 거? 확인 눌러야지. 자, 능력치 올리고 그 다음날 밤이 되겠지? 혼돈에 빠져야 될 겁니다. 떨어진다. 와, 3개. 와. 노로시크레이. 지역이 일단 4군데가 있구나. 자, 그 다음날 밤이 됐고요.
If I'm to
제
stay
2장
here till my
힌색가운.
research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals.
힌색가운 야간 근무. 뱀파이어로 병원 돕기, 현관으로 나가기. 이 2개 일단 성공. 1점 정리. 자, 이장할 차례네. 자, 이장할 차례니까